enemy came up against your children. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win, win. You will win, win. The enemy came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Oh, you will win. Yes, you will.
Can you win? I came to tell somebody up in here tonight that there is something on the inside of you that's going to help you win in this season, and it's called a champion. You ought to open up your mouth and shout, I am a champion. Everything attached to you wins. I said everything attached to you wins. Can you point to your neighbor and tell them everything you win. Come on, let's tell them. Everything attached to you wins. Just tell them, say, it's your winning season. It's your winning season. If God got to carry you, if God got to carry you, that's what He's going to do tonight. Because you can't afford to lose again. You can't afford to lose again. Oh, it's your winning season. Last time, say, everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me. This is what I need you to do, because I realize that you can't say you are a winner but look defeated. I need you to get up out of your seat and high five 10 people across this room. Don't just stay at your room, tell them across the room that you will win. Come on, high five 10 people and tell them you will win. You will win. God don't birth failures. God don't call you defeated. You are a winner. Maybe you didn't know it before, but now you know it tonight. Now you know it tonight. You are a winner. You are a winner. Unleash that champion. Unleash that champion out of you. Come on, that's your tell him. You will win. It's my way. It's my way. Come on, all the winners, clap your hands in the air. Come. Clap your hands in the air. Come. Now y'all gotta be my background. Everybody say tonight, it's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's your winning season. It's your winning season. Say, it's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. Y'all ready to declare one more time? Everybody say, everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me wins. Yeah. Now scream like you believe it.
Hello, hello. Thank you and so much for joining the I Am Dr. Sharon show. I am Dr. Sharon H. Porter, educator, author, entrepreneur, and speaker. And as of today, January 7, 2018, the host of the I Am Dr. Sharon show. I am so excited that you are here, and I have such a wonderful, wonderful guest for this first segment of the I Am Dr. Sharon show. But before we get started, there are some supporters of the I Am Dr. Sharon show that I must acknowledge. First of all, I would like to thank James Adele Custom Clothier, where you will find custom apparel and tailoring at affordable prices. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram at James Adele CC. Again, that's James Adele Custom Clothier. And also, I would also like to thank Miss Michelle Mondesser. She is the CEO of Learn Coaching and Consulting, LLC. That's Michelle Mondesser, and you can find her website at www.learncc.net. So, thank you guys. I'm so excited. This is my vision. I'm the CEO of Perfect Time SHP LLC, and I focus on a three-point thrust: educators, authors, entrepreneurs. And with that, I support, connect, develop, and highlight educators, authors, and entrepreneurs. And I am so excited because this is my platform to highlight all of those individuals. And today, my guest is none other than the wonderful, talented Dr. Chantel Teasdale. Dr. Chantel, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So glad to be here.
Absolutely.
Inaugural and launching of your show.
Thank you so much. You are the very first on this inaugural episode.
I'm
Isn't that
so
exciting?
honored. It's very exciting. Very
Absolutely.
exciting.
So Dr. Teasdale is the CEO of Millennium Business Advisors. She's also the founder of so many, when I tell you so many, organizations that give back to the community. Most recognized for the phenomenal woman. And I tell you, when she go all out to award these individuals. It is just amazing. And I had the privilege of being recognized in your most recent one, and I was just so shocked to get that on New Year's Eve, so humbled and so excited.
Congratulations again.
So please tell the viewers, tell the listeners who you are and what it is that you do.
Well, as Dr. Porter just said, I am Dr. Chantel Teasdale. I am the Chief Executive Officer for Millennium Business Advisors, where we do consulting for businesses, small community organizations in terms of operational and executive management. But with that, we do a lot of community give back. And as she said, the one that's most well known is Metro Phenomenal Women. We also do Metro Distinguished Men. Those are the two big major ones that we do. We have honored over 200 and I think it's 48 women since 2015. We've honored 100 distinguished men in 2016 and 2017. So it's just been a privilege to sit here and give back to the community. What I found when I left the government and working 3.5 years ago, that there seemed to have been a void in the community where we don't take time to pause and actually recognize people that are making a difference in the community. We're so busy in our day-to-day lives, and and I understand that. Everybody got to make some bread, everybody got to keep their household going, everybody has to keep their jobs or their businesses going. But at the same time, we do need to pause and just take a moment to say, congratulations, job well done, keep up the good work. And that's the reason behind the Metro Phenomenal Women and the Metro Distinguished Men. With that, what I found was that, wow, I met, and that's when I got on social media. I'm still kind of new to social media. I got on social media when I became a full-time entrepreneur and mompreneur, which is, like I said, now I think I'm getting into about a little over 3 years. And so I've not been on social media. In the first year that I wasn't on social media, so I'm just a little over 2 years into social media. But what I did find is that there are a lot of people out here, there are a lot of people doing great things, and I wanted to be able to thank them. And so I've truly been sewing a lot. Honorees, they come to the event, they don't have to pay. If they bring the guests, they have to pay. But really, I've been sewing, and really, God has been great.
Yes.
I cannot say I've not been hungry a day that I've been sewing, and God has been great. But what I found is I came across a lot of women from all walks of life, and this led me to my most recent project. And Dr. Sharon Porter is one of our contributing authors, which is behind the scenes of a phenomenal woman.
Yes.
And we had 24 contributing authors, and I tell you, these are 24 amazing, phenomenal stories. No two stories were the same.
Wow.
I just met women through 2015, 2016, 2017 that just said, a lot of people would come up to me and say, this is the first award they had ever gotten. And these are people that have been doing things in the community, some of them more years than I have been on this earth.
Wow.
And I'm 44. And I mean, some people have been actually laboring in their community 40 and 50 years and had never received not one award and have been doing magnificent jobs. So what I find is a lot of times the celebrities get the attention, but not the actual laborers.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to make a difference with that. And so if you do not have a copy of Behind the Scenes of a Phenomenal Woman, I ask that you contact me or any of the contributing authors, and definitely do get a copy, because it is truly a blessing for each and every reader.
Absolutely. And you mentioned before how you just award these women and men and teens, boys and girls. You do it all. And I just think that's phenomenal. And that's really one of the reasons why I wanted to expand my platform. I did the Grind Entrepreneur Spotlight and Write the Book Now on Facebook Live. I did it faithfully, just like I was in a studio. I was very faithful to that.
I was watching. That's
and
amazing.
so to be able to give this platform to entrepreneurs that are doing their things, authors who don't have the nationwide attention, I think is just honorable. So
but they have a great message.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's very important. Exactly.
It is.
So you said you left the government 3.5 years ago and started 100% entrepreneurship. 100% entrepreneurship. How was that for you?
It's different. It was scary at first, and that's when I really will say that my faith got really strengthened.
Yes.
I even had to take a week off, and I went to Florida because I didn't realize, did I really just leave 6 figures to no figures?
Wow.
You know, that's really, really
that's
scary.
That's a book title.
Yes. 6 figures to no figures.
Yes.
And, you know, my husband was being an executive manager, was very, very supportive. But what I found is that, you know, I was commuting an hour plus to work every day. My children are older now, but they were younger then. Both were in elementary school, and we had a live-in, nanny, au pair, all that, just to make it work. And I said, you know, really, is it worth it at the end of the day? Getting home 9 and 10 o'clock at night from going to meetings all over D.C. And I said, really, I didn't think it was worth it at the time. My kids really could have used me to be closer to them, to be more involved with them. So I just totally went out on faith. When I left there, I didn't even know what I was going to do. But at the time, I said, you know, they have spring break in a week. And this felt like it was perfect timing. So I took 2 weeks off for spring break and have never gone back.
Wow. That's amazing.
We went to Florida. My husband couldn't even go to Florida at that time. So the kids and I and the au pair went to Florida and stayed a week. And it really soaked in what I had just done. So it is different. I will say entrepreneurs really have strong faith because you are in charge of your paycheck.
Absolutely.
And I learned to live with no paycheck. And that was because, of course, I was disciplined when I was working. And you got to do your savings and all that and figure it all out. But at the end of the day, happiness and peace is what's more important to me.
Wow. That's amazing. It really is. And so really taking on 100% entrepreneurship, you really have to put things in perspective.
You do.
I can only imagine. I've never done that because I'm still doing the dualpreneur. And I am in awe of those of you who really just take that leap and say, you know, I'm going to do this. Right. So the support of your family must be intact. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, I must say, hats off. I'm sure my husband is watching now. Actually, he's at home cooking breakfast, helping my son do some homework, get ready for, hopefully they're going back to school tomorrow. And, but yes, I must say, if I was not married, if I was a single mom, I could not have done that, obviously. But, you know, having the support of a husband and to have had, you know, the type of senior executive job that he had, it afforded me the opportunity to be able to do that. And I just have enjoyed it. And even at the end of my bio, you see what I said, I'm like a family engineer now. And
I love that.
I've given myself that title because I find out the last thing on my list is stuff that I'm doing for entrepreneurship. My first thing on my list is usually stuff for the kids, stuff I have to do for my husband. And then I'm an only child, and my mother is 83. And so, of course, there's stuff I got to do for her. If I don't do it, there's no one else to do it because I'm an only child. So I think it was great timing. When I did it, my mother had just lost her sister that was very close to her that same month. So I had been off for 3 weeks before I came back to work and just decided, you know what, I'm just going to resign and let it go. So I think it all was perfect timing. My mother could have used me. Her other sister that was elderly that was still living could have used me. And then I also had to help them do things, you know, to tie up the deceased sister's things. So it's always perfect timing. The au pair's time was ending. I couldn't find another one that could drive. And it just, God has his reason, his purpose. We may not see it then, but we always see it in the end.
Absolutely.
And so it's just been great to have I'm glad to have my family, and the family, of course, always tell me they're great to have me and my flexibility.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, Ron, do we have a call? I heard the calls coming in. Okay. And I Okay, yes, and I will announce that now. We will take calls at the end. Dr. Chantel, are you going to be able to stay for the entire show to take calls at the end?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so our number is 240-719-2560. So if we'll take calls at the end, so please just write them down because we have 3 amazing guests today, and I want to make sure we have time for everyone.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So what would be an ending or a lasting message that you would like to leave for the viewers or the listeners?
What I would say is that, and if you follow me on any social media now, more so Facebook than any, I have something out now called Back to My Passion, and that's something that I'm getting ready to go back to on February the 25th. When I left working and went into entrepreneurship, I'm more so focused on the executive management arena. Because that's the position I had been in for several years. However, that is not, as old folks would say, the meat and potato of my career and my educational background. I am 80% gerontology and healthcare administration.
Okay.
So yes, I am going back to my passion. When I left, I was associate director of a government agency, Office on Aging. So I am going back to the geriatric arena, starting on February the 25th. I've launched several platforms that will be helping the elderly globally. That's just, I know where my true passion is. That's where 20 plus years of my work experience is. That's where my other author, that's where my dissertation is. So I would say it's always to seek and feel things, but I want to encourage each and every person to always follow your passion, whether that's working for someone else on a 9-to-5 or working for yourself or doing something in the community. Always follow your passion. Don't chase dollars, but follow your passion in your heart because you will be a winner doing that.
Awesome. There you have it, guys. Dr. Teasdale saying follow your passion. And if you have a question or just want to reach out to her, where can they reach you?
They can always reach me. You can go on Facebook. I'm on there under Chantel Teasdale. I'm on Instagram under Dr. Chantel Knows. And you also can just email me at events@millenniumbusinessadvisors.com.
Very good. I am so elated that you are here.
I'm so glad
and again,
to be
guys,
here.
pick up the copy of the book, Behind the Scenes of a Phenomenal Woman, from any one of the contributing authors.
Yes.
So we will take a short break, and we will be back with our next guest, Miss Tykia Lawrence.
The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. Enemy came up against your business. You will win. Oh, you will win. Yes, you will. Oh, you will win. I want to let you know today that you will win. Hey, yeah. I know you're hurt. I know you're torn. I know you're broken.
And we are back. Thank you so much. And now my next guest. I'm so thrilled to have Ms. Takia Lawrence. She is here. She is the CEO of Love Me LLC. She is also a contributing author of Renegotiating Greatness. I'm just going to pick it up here. I tell you, we have entrepreneurs and authors on this show. I'm so excited about that. So I am here with Ms. Takia Lawrence. And Takia, welcome to the I Am Dr. Sharon show.
Thank you for very much for having me.
Absolutely. And I want you to tell our viewers, our listeners, who Takia Lawrence is and what it is that you do.
I am the founder of Love Me LLC, in which the mission is to motivate, empower, and educate women on self-love so that they're loving themselves full and being abundantly fulfilled in life.
That's awesome. And you know, you have some similarities of our last guest, yes, because you too left your full-time profession to go 100% entrepreneur. Tell us about that.
Yes, I was a paramedic in D.C. for almost 18 years and decided to take that leap of faith. As she said, you have to have some faith to really step out there and do it. And it builds your faith and helps you just to do it and keep going.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know, I had the privilege of attending your empowerment event yesterday and book signing with the launch with Renegotiating Greatness, which I am also a part of. And this just happened. I didn't plan this, but I am a part of that book as well. So I want you to just tell a little bit about your chapter and your whole process about that.
Okay, so my chapter is basically telling how it took me to build up my faith to step out into entrepreneurship, to open up and start the business of what I wanted to do. Early on in my career, I decided or knew that I wouldn't be there like long term, or I likely wouldn't retire from there. So I, always kept ideas in my mind to think about what my next step would be. And over time, I was building up my faith to eventually get to the point of taking that next step. And it took some time. Like I said, I did almost 18 years. And so it took some time of building up that faith. So in my chapter, I'm talking basically about how I just built upon my faith to take that step to leave.
Wow. So tell us about Love Me. What is it that you really... the clients that you serve, the heart of what you do. Talk to us a little bit about your business.
So the mission is, we often know that we should be loving ourselves, but oftentimes we're taking care of everybody else and neglecting ourselves, or we come last on the list. Being in my former profession, I oftentimes was even able to see that in the forefront of assisting patients who was trying to take care of everybody else but wasn't taking care of themselves, or just not taking care of themselves, advocating for what their health care needs were, period. So just bringing that to the forefront of women's mind, like, take care of yourself and then you'll be more for everybody else. If you don't take care of yourself, then how much can you take care of other people? As well as it was in alignment with my career. Mm-hmm. We were ingrained, it was ingrained in us and other medical professionals. You have to take care of yourself first before you try to treat anybody else. Mm-hmm. So that's always just kind of been ingrained in me. And so I wanted to take on the mission of really bringing that back to the forefront of women's minds so that they can keep that, in mind when they're trying to do everything, because we do everything.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And, just as I mentioned with my last guest, the family support and structure have to be there, because when you are bringing in a salary and then you just stop that and just start on your own, that must be scary for a family.
That is definitely scary. But as she said, and as I've said, like, it's a faith thing. So you have to either, believe or walk in faith that everything's going to work out or be fine. I'm good. I haven't missed a meal. We got our roof over our head. Yes. My husband supports me. And my family they know me as a person that I'm determined and driven. So they're there for support, whatever we need.
Exactly. Very good. And so what events do you have planned? I know, like I said, you just had your empowerment event, which was phenomenal, by the way. And I really appreciate you having that. I connected with a lot of wonderful people. And that's what it's all about. When you go to these events, you have to network and connect and establish these relationships. Because that was the first thing you said when you sat down. Oh, I got to connect with the first guest. And that's what it's about. So what other events do you have planned?
So I don't have it written in stone, but I am planning an event for women, a pampering like event for women to focus on the self, love, showing yourself self-care and taking care of yourself, because all of that makes a difference and matters most,
Yes.
So I'm planning the event probably in the spring, early spring for that.
That is really awesome. And so how can individuals reach out to you? How can they follow you? How can they connect with you?
So I am on all of the social media platforms under Tykia Empowers. And my website is Love Me LLC, and the me is MEE for motivation, empowerment, and education.
I love that. Oh my God. Well, Tykia, what's a message that you want to leave with everyone about Tykia and just in life general?
So I would say that, which my brand pillars are self-awareness, happiness, peace of mind, and good health. All of those things matter. In my former profession, I had plenty of opportunities to talk to elderly people and just get advice and have conversations with them. So when you strive for those things, your elder self will appreciate it and will be happy and be able to tell stories and pour into others.
Wow. And say that one more time. Self-awareness, happiness,
peace of mind, and good health.
And good health. I love that. Oh, well, thank you, Tykia. I am just so elated that you stopped in. And again, she's going to hang around at the end with all three of my guests. The number is 240-719-2560 if you have a comment or a question for Ms. Tykia Lawrence. So we're going to go for just one more break, and we'll be back with my next guest, the fabulous Sade Y. Adu.
The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win. You will win. The enemy came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Oh, you will win. Yes, you will.
To the Iam Dr. Sharon show. We have our final guest here, and when I tell you she is phenomenal, she is none other than the future doctor, Sade Y. Adu. Welcome, Sade.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so glad that you were able to make it here. And guys, I'm not going to even try to tell you all the fabulous things that she does because I'm going to let her do that. But when I tell you, and as I stated at the top of the show, I work from a three-point thrust: educators, authors, and entrepreneurs, and Sade fits all three. So she is in my sweet spot. educator, started out as a classroom teacher. She's taught overseas, worldwide traveler. She's an entrepreneur with her Greatness brand. She is actually the visionary of the Renegotiating Greatness that my last guest, Takia, and I are contributing authors for. She's also an author on her own, and she is a dynamic entrepreneur. And when I tell you, you better get out your pens and paper, you better get it out. Welcome, Sade.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So tell us all about, as much as you can, about Sade, because you have so much going on.
Well, you know, in a nutshell, I am an entrepreneur, a speaker, and a coach, but I started out in education as an educator in Philadelphia, and then I traveled the world and moved to Kazakhstan to teach. And all of those things just go so well together. And when I started out as an entrepreneur, I was really insecure because I didn't go to school for business. I went to school for education. And then once I realized the power of education, it helps entrepreneurs so much. I tapped into that. I said, okay, I'm okay that I'm a teacher. I'm okay that I'm getting a degree in education. And this is what entrepreneurs are missing, because every field starts from education. And I leveraged that and started helping people build their brands online. So I'm still an educator, but we just do it in a different way.
Exactly. And you know, I don't even know how I got connected with, I'm sure it was social media some kind of way, but I have participated in so many things you've done.
Yes.
I've been a part of the Greatness Academy, your collaboration of Renegotiating Greatness, and I had the opportunity to attend your inaugural Beacon conference in Newark, New Jersey last year.
Entrepreneurs Conference. So a lot of people start building their brands locally from people that you knew, but the way that my life started and my business, I started my business when I was still living overseas. So I knew that I wanted to come back home to Irvington, New Jersey, and I've been traveling the world for the past 10 years, and I said I want to contribute to what's happening locally in my community. So it was really important for me to have my conference in the city that I was born in the state that I grew up in, and it was just phenomenal. We had people come from around the world. We had a guest from South Africa actually come to the conference. So we're creating something globally that we can even impact local communities with. And that's really why I love social media, because anyone can be watching you from around the world and be impacted by your message. You don't have to have millions and millions of dollars for people to pay attention to you anymore.
That's right.
You just need a great Wi-Fi and a phone, and you can be impacting nations. So I really love that opportunity, because when I moved overseas, I was away from my family, 5,000 miles away. No one looked like me. It was a different language, and I needed a way to connect with people who looked like me, who loved me, and people wanted to know what I was doing. They wanted to make sure I was okay and that I wasn't in any danger. And social media was my way of staying connected. And I started a blog, and I shared my journey and my experiences and the places that I was going. And people kept asking me, how did you do this? And why did you do this? And can you help me do it? So that's how the business was birthed, from the desire and the need of people on social media to want to do the same thing. So then I realized, I said, there's something here that I need to start monetizing. So sometimes the gifts that you have, people will tell you. You don't even realize it. And they'll tell you, and then the smart ones will put a price tag on it. Put a price tag on that baby and start making money from it and really start changing lives.
Exactly. And one of the things that since the new year started, you've been teaching, okay, it's time to have some high-end quality products. You know, and we found, I was actually talking to an entrepreneur. She had offered something free last year, and so she put a price on it this year, and she wasn't having the same outcome that she had last year, of course, because it was free. And so you always say you have to monetize from the gate. And that's what I told her. You cannot, because you'll lose it because it's too low. That's what you said. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. I shared a story recently on Facebook. When I first started in business, I was used to, like most people, you get a paycheck from your job. I knew that money was coming in, what day it was coming in, how much it was supposed to be. And when I started being an entrepreneur, I had to realize that, wait a minute, I have to make money for myself. Oh, this is something new. It was a mindset shift. So in the beginning, I had a really expensive hobby, and I realized that if I wanted to keep the lights on and if I wanted to eat, I needed to make some money. So I had to have an abrupt shift, or I was going to bankrupt myself and I was going to be out of business. So I had to start charging. It was out of a necessity of life. And what I realized was, people won't value what they don't see, what you're not putting a price tag on. If you don't value your services, your work, and the good things that you do in this world, other people won't place a value on it either. So although it may be scary to increase your rates or charge money for things that you do, understand that it is a part of the value that you provide. In order to live the livelihood in the world, in this world that we live in, you have to make money. So, and business is about commerce. It's an exchange of commerce. So you want to make sure that you are monetizing. And when it comes to high end, it's important. It's easier to get to your income goals if you have a product that is a higher end product. And there are certain people that will never pay attention to you if you don't have a certain price point. Think about a brand like Tiffany's. There are certain people who like Tiffany's or a higher end brand like a Gucci or something like that. They only have a handful of items in their store. And there's a certain amount of people that will go to those particular stores. So you can make a decision. You can build a brand like a Gucci or a Coach, or you can decide to build a brand like Walmart. No, they both make money, but they make it in a different way. And the audience and the people that are attracted to those brands are different. So you just make a decision on how do you want to build your brand. And make sure that it makes money, because it is a business.
Exactly. And the key, though, to the high-end product is the value that you have to bring.
The value that you bring and provide.
Yes.
We know so much. You spent decades in school, doing trainings, living in this world. You know so much. And what we teach people is teach people what you already know.
Yes.
There's so much value in what we know that people are willing to pay you for. There are 7 billion people in this world. I guarantee you someone is right now Googling what you have to offer. And if they cannot find you, guess what? They still have a problem that has not been resolved. And it's your fault. Because I put the onus on us, because it's your fault if you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not advocating for your business and your brand, and you're not telling people that you are the solution that they are dying to have. You are that solution. So it's so important that as entrepreneurs that we share that message of being a solution. And it's okay to be compensated for that solution.
Absolutely. I love that. So let's look at your book. I know you're the visionary for Renegotiating Greatness, but you also have the branding guide to accelerating your expertise. You are enough.
Absolutely.
And when I tell you she's a branding guru, she's a branding guru. So talk to us a little bit about your book.
Absolutely. So this was my first book. And I was pushed to do this book. It was actually a challenge from another coach you may know, Sharon Wood. I was making fun of her 11-year-old or 10-year-old daughter at the time. And I said, your daughter has a book and I don't have a book. And she says, well, you need to have a book in 30 days. So I took on that challenge, and about 35 days later, we had this book. And this was just my story of being transparent and honest and being extremely insecure about transitioning from education to business. What are these people going to think about me? I don't have an MBA. I thought I didn't have enough. And this story was an affirmation to myself and others who are starting businesses and transitioning from one field to a new field, that you are enough. Everything that you have already will take you to where you need to be right now. You have it. And the guide to accelerating your expertise. So people say, well, how did you do this so quickly? There are certain things that you can do to position yourself as that go-to industry leader, even if you're new. You don't have to wait forever and do what Sade did, do $27 or $80 coaching. You can position yourself as an expert immediately if you know how to do it. And that's what brand building is all about. So this guide, it's a short read. It's a very easy, quick read. And it's also an Amazon bestseller that you can read in a day and get started on building your brand the way that you see fit, based on what you already have, because you are definitely enough.
I love that. And so in your Greatness Academy, is that the formal name?
Brand Your Greatness
Academy, right. You really teach all of this. And one of the things that I love about Sade is you have your price points, but you give so much value just freely. And so when you find someone who's doing that, you know that when you start paying to get some stuff, it's going to be some good stuff, right? So talk to us a little bit about Brand Your Greatness Academy.
So Brand Your Greatness Academy came out because so many people kept asking me. When I first started, I started initially as a life coach, and I am still a certified life coach. People kept saying to me, listen to what people say to you, because that's where your money is. How did you build this brand? How did you do that? They just kept asking me. I just knew how to do it. I didn't know that this was a thing that I was supposed to be charging for at that time. And I said, okay, I just put this website together. I just put it together. I did this. I didn't realize that. until I did some self-reflection and realized at the age of 12, I used to work on gubernatorial and political campaigns. So I learned a lot about branding, image, and putting packages and campaigns together from politicians locally in New Jersey, even before I was able to vote. And I talked to people who helped me do that, and they said, oh, of course we knew you would do this. You've been doing this since you were a kid. So it was so natural to me. And then eventually I said, okay, we need to put this in a package and in a training. And my background's in curriculum development, so I already knew how to put things together. So now we're just packaging what I did as an educator, and we're packaging content and information and curriculum for entrepreneurs in a way that they can understand it, because that's one of the benefits of being an educator.
Yes.
We learn about the brain. We know how students learn. So we're just transferring those same skills to entrepreneurs. So breaking down those complex topics of branding and colors and sales funnels and email sequences, and making it into and putting it into digestible chunks where people can understand. Because the whole point of your business and communicating with others is for people to understand. So that's really important. And we say, we want to keep things, are you smart? I always think, are you smarter than a fifth grader? Sometimes I say, are you smarter than a first grader? We have to keep the ideas and the topics simple, because we want people to understand. Because confused minds won't take action and they won't do anything. So when we're building these products, we want to make sure they're really simple and easy to understand.
I love that. And so you are really currently in Wisconsin, is that right?
Yes, depends on the day of the week.
So how was that transition?
It was a major transition. So I left Kazakhstan, and a couple of months later, I started my business. I started my business while I was there, and a couple of months later, I started my doctoral program. So weather-wise, it wasn't that different. It's cold. It's extremely cold. I used to live in the former Soviet Union. So this weather that we're having, this is a good day in Kazakhstan. A very warm day. Living in negative 50-degree weather close to Siberia. -50. Wow. It was an experience. Moving to Wisconsin has actually been a challenge because I'm in the U.S., but I feel like I'm still away from my family and friends. And it's just been a challenge to do this degree. And I talk about that honestly. I've always been a great student from 3 years old, telling my teacher that I wanted to stay after school and tutor the other students at 3 years old in preschool, to going to college and graduate school. This has been a challenge. And I understand, you've talked about this in the book. Getting that PhD has been extremely challenging, and also being an entrepreneur at the same time, where you have 1% to 2% success rate in both arenas, and then you're trying to do them at the same time. So instead of trying to hide the challenges and the difficulties, I just decided to be honest with people. If it takes me longer to do it, it just takes me longer. If I'm not hitting I'm having delays and I'm not having the success that I want, just talk about it. And you know what? The entrepreneur side of me says, hey, talk about it and put a price tag on it. Because guess what? That's going to inspire and impact somebody else's lives.
Absolutely. So where can everyone reach you? Where can they follow you?
You can connect with me all throughout social media. I say all across the internet. But you can start with my Facebook group. You can go to breakfastbranding.com. breakfastbranding.com, because breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and so is your brand. And you can connect with me there. We have over 6,000 entrepreneurs. It's a free Facebook group. We want to just share, support, and mentor current entrepreneurs and people who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs. And you can find me at SadeYadu.com and SadeYadu across social media.
Okay, very good, guys. And so right after this break, we are going to take calls for Dr. Chantel Teasdale, Takia Lawrence, and Sade Adu. We'll be right back.
The enemy came up against your character. You will win. You will win. Came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Oh, you will win. Yes, you will.
are back with all of my wonderful guests today, and we are taking your calls at 240-719-2560. So call in if you have a question, just want to shout out one of my phenomenal guests. Please, again, 240-719-2560. And while we wait for a call, just a few announcements from VoxWave.com. And by the way, I want to thank VoxWave.com for providing this platform. Reggie Reg, who is the owner, I just want to say thank you. And Ron, the dynamic engineer, who has been doing a phenomenal job since early this morning. Thank you so much. So VoxWave is having a coat drive. We will be sponsoring the first one and do intend to do that each year. The coats collected will be distributed to various homeless shelters and families in the metro area. The coat drop location is 4711 Off Place. That's Suitland, Maryland, 20746. For additional information, you can contact Frank Dent at 301-449-9258. And we will be collecting donations on January 25th and February 25th. So please, if you have coats, gently worn or new, please drop them by. So thank you so much. And also, I just want to also thank our official supporters and sponsors of the I Am Dr. Sharon show, James Adele Custom Clothier, and you can find him on Instagram and Facebook at James Adele CC, and also Michelle Montesser, and I hope I pronounced that name right. I'll catch it before we leave. And she is the CEO of Lead. I will definitely make sure I have that correct. So we're again waiting on calls. And while we're waiting, guys, since I have all of you here, what has been your greatest challenge in this entrepreneurial journey?
I'll say my greatest challenge has been to be constant with strong faith. Because, we're human. We do have flesh, and our faith will waver. Our faith will get a little weak, but it's to always look to our Father, where our strength and health comes from, and have that constant strong faith.
Absolutely.
I agree. Entrepreneurship is a faith journey. And I say that all the time. And trusting that journey, that's the challenge. Mm-hmm. Like, we just want it right now. We want this to happen. We want, everything to be, all of our dreams to come to fruition immediately. And knowing that it's not, you have to be patient. Mm-hmm. That patience is a challenge every day. I just want my degree. I just want this. I just need to get this over with. So trusting the process and understanding that there's value in the process, and we're learning every single day from it.
Absolutely. What about you, Taki?
I would definitely say faith and patience are very important and part of the transition, as well as for me being as though I would connect and be around people, various people throughout any one day. Now not having that so much has been a little challenging for me.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And for me, just still being, I think I'm the only one that's still working a 9-to-5. And so it's really just getting everything done that comes up in my mind. You have so many ideas, and you only have so much time. Yes. And so it's really, and I think I mentioned it yesterday, just completing all of these tasks that I start. Just, that's really been a task. So that's really what I, am pushing through now. Yes. Managing my time, maximizing my time so I can get things done, definitely. Do we have any calls, Ron? Not yet. Okay, so we're still waiting. So what about your greatest achievement in your entrepreneurial journey?
I'll say my greatest achievement has been the community give back programs and actually being able to lift others. A lot of times we do get busy even without working a 9-to-5 job. We get entrepreneurship is very, very busy, just being a solo entrepreneur. And when I say solo, it's because most times when you first start out, you may not have the resources to hire someone, and you've not built your team yet. So you're a solo entrepreneur, and you're so wrapped up in yourself. But I will say that my greatest achievement has been able to do the community give back and to reach out there and thank almost 400 people already between 2015 and now.
Wow.
My biggest success would be being able to share what I'm doing with my family and my nieces and nephews, and having them be able to dream big and see what's possible out here in the world, and involving them as many times as I can possibly. They're even here today. So making sure that they're seeing what we're doing so that they know that their dreams are also possible.
I love that.
My biggest success so far has been able to do the 3 anthologies and be able to become an author. So far, that has been, I mean, it was something that I always wanted to do and knew that I would get around to doing it. It just hadn't happened yet.
Yes.
So I've been able to complete the 3 that I did last year. And 2 bestsellers.
Yes.
Wonderful.
That's been my biggest success so far.
I love that. Yes. And I would have to say, really and truly, at this point, is this platform, because I am just so grateful. And I mentioned earlier how I did my Facebook Lives, the Grind Entrepreneur Network Spotlight, and Write the Book Now, where I feature entrepreneurs and authors, and to be able to expand that, because when I say I treated that like I was already in a studio, and I meant that, and I gave my guests, and I will still continue to do that. And I gave them the utmost respect as if we were in the studio. So to have this platform to bring in studio entrepreneurs, authors, and educators to share their message is truly right now today my greatest achievement, and I'm just so humbled for it. And so I just want to say thank you to each one of you for taking the time out to come share this inaugural episode, which will forever be so special to me as the first live in-studio show for me. So I really appreciate it. And guys, we will be right here every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time on VoxWave.com. We're also, we'll begin streaming it live once I figure out all this good stuff on my Facebook page. I tried to do it a little bit today, but we'll get that down beginning next week. And if you like to be featured on the I Am Dr. Sharon show, please contact me at I Am Dr. Sharon, and that's Dr. Sharon at SharonHPorter.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I Am Dr. Sharon. And on Facebook, IamDrSharon.com will get you to my Facebook page. So I want to say again, thank you, Dr. Teasdale. Thank you, Sade Wadu. Thank you, Takia Lawrence, for a wonderful, wonderful first show. And I would like to thank my family as well. My mom and husband are both here supporting me this early Sunday cold morning. So I just want to say thank you. And again, to my sponsors, James Adele Custom Clothier, thanks for believing and supporting me always. Please check him out. Wonderful custom clothes. And also Michelle with Learn Incorporated. So thank you again, guys, and we will be posting this on YouTube. So that is it for today's show. Remember, the bigger the dream, the harder the grind. Push, pray, and continue to grind.
She